to listen to this brief introduction, so I am going to record it. Sorry, you can see how fast I work. I'm always clicking on something. All right, so we're back on track here. It is recording in case someone needs this as a quick overview. But what we're going to do here is we're going to work on a case study with a fictitious person. So far, you guys worked on yourselves, okay? And we're talking about building a plan to achieve normal body composition for someone. So you worked with yourself. Now we're going to work on a fictitious case study. And by then you should have the skills to help with a friend or family member or your future job. You can use these skills. So when we're building a plan to help someone get to normal body composition, we build rapport and communication with them. So like I said to you guys before, we don't just say, come over here, I'm going to measure your body fat and start taking blood pressure readings on them. We don't do that right up front. We get to know them a little bit, communicate with them what we're going to be doing, and then start a standardized protocol. So the first step here after we build rapport would be collect data in terms of their demographics. What do they do for a living? What do they do for a hobby? Where do they live? What do they have access to? Do they have access to healthy food, a fitness center? Do they exercise in their home? All these questions which might be important for you to know when you help them build a diet plan or an exercise plan. All right. How many kids they have, who they live with, what do they do in their spare time, things like that. All right, I'm going to edit this a little bit here where it says fitness. I'm going to put fitness and medical assessment. Now, you guys can run the fitness assessments if you have the tools or the ability. You could do something like the body composition with electrostatic penis machine. You can measure their height and weight. You can measure even their circumference if that's something that they want. If you have the skills, you could even do their blood pressure. Every client that I work with, I do want them to have medical clearance from a doctor. So I usually just tell them after you go for your regular physical with your doctor, have them send me or bring with you when we meet a letter that says you are cleared to exercise to make sure there's no problems with blood pressure or cardiac issues or anything that might impede their ability to exercise. So that's just to protect yourself. When I run the fitness center at Triton, we have them do a medical form and waiver, which talks about, what is their current blood pressure? Do they have any underlying, issues like asthma or any medical issues we need to be aware of? If somebody marks down on those waivers that they have high blood pressure or asthma, I always make them go to a doctor to get that clearance letter that says they're able to exercise. So you always want to protect yourself. Even if that is your friends and family, always want to make sure that when you're telling them to do exercise or, recommending foods that there have no contraindications to what you're saying. So we have we have their demographics, we have maybe their baseline body composition, and maybe their baseline medical history. All right. Now, when I give you this case study, you will have all this information. On the case study, I wrote down what their height and weight is, what their body fat is, what they do for hobbies and things. If they have any diseases, I wrote that down on the case study. So you'll be able to work with that. Then we do a diet analysis and an exercise analysis with our clients, okay, or your friends. Now, the diet analysis is something you just did. You entered all the food you ate for 5 days in ESHA. Now, not everyone will have access to ESHA, but there are different programs in public that we can use. You could use MyFitnessPal app. I've had a lot of students use that. The initial app is free. The really, really detailed one does cost money. So it depends on how much detail you guys want. Maybe your friend is willing to pay the extra money. If you have a job in the future where you're doing this, you're going to want your company or yourself to purchase something a little bit more in depth. to go over their diet analysis and exercise analysis. But for you guys, we used ESHA. Let me take a break here. Does someone have a question?
Yeah, me, Patty. This is something really well, this is actually something regarding the project. I've already submitted it, but I was just really confused because like I completed everything when it came to like the rubric part, you know? But then when I was looking at the I'm sorry, I completed everything like on the template, and then when I came to the rubric for the first part where it is 2 points, I got a little bit confused because it says like I found BMR on there. Do you want us to give you our like BMR listed on that project as well? Because it wasn't anywhere like else in the project besides the rubric.
Well, you have your total calories, okay? You should have your total calories listed on that.
So just like compare it?
Yeah, if you did not put your total, if you did not put your BMR plus activity plus thermic effect of food in 3 separate parts and you just put your total metabolism, I'm fine with that. But no, in your discussion question that is due tomorrow, in Learning Module 8, you will have to put all 3 parts individually.
Yeah, that's for part 1 of the question. Yeah, I already started that assignment.
Yeah, but if you didn't put in your diet analysis, that's fine. As long as I see it in the discussion and you know what your total metabolism for the diet analysis summary is, I'm good with just the total metabolism.
Okay, thank you. Because yeah, I was just on the rubric.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you for bringing that up because when I'm going over my plans here, we just talked about doing the diet analysis and exercise analysis, which you did. Don't forget, you have to calculate the person's metabolism. For the case study, I do give you their current metabolism. Like for instance, one of them is 3,850 calories a day. Now, with your future clients or your family and friends that you're trying to help, you will have to do that obviously for yourself. So that's BMR plus activity plus thermic effect of food. So we used the equation in the textbook. You could use the Harris-Benedict equation, which is in my PowerPoint. There are a few online programs, and I know somebody raised their hand, but let me get through this. There are a few online programs that you can use to find total metabolism. Let me see if I have one in here. Where you could just put your information and the actual computer does it for you. Let me show you. For instance, we'll do feet and inches. Let's say the person is, let's make them really tall, 6 foot tall and 5 inches. Let's say they weigh 200 pounds. They are 25 years old, and we'll always do a male here, and they do a lot of work. So you see, we did height, weight, age, gender, and activity level. So when I calculate this, it's going to tell me that this individual's BMR, basal metabolic rate, is 2,100 calories. That's the minimum amount they need to stay alive. And if I added in the activity and thermic effect of food, their total metabolism would go up to 3,780 calories. And this computer system did use the Harris-Benedict equation to find the BMR, and then they used the physical activity level of 1.8%. So, computers do this. You could do it manually by hand, or you can use a computer program. This is manytools.org, and it is in your learning module. So you just enter your friend's information, and you'd have their total metabolism. Okay, somebody had their hand up. What's the question? Victoria.
Yes, so basically I am working on a different program, not on ASHA track, because for me it's, for some reason it says session not authorized, or through different links it's like just blocked, or it doesn't let me go through, and I couldn't work on it. So if I work for a different app, is it no change for the grade? Is it like,
what app did you use?
I forgot what it's called. It's in my computer at home.
Yeah, that's fine. If you use a different app and you still got your diet analysis summary completed, I'm not going to take any points off. You should be fine.
Okay.
All right, thank you. I know that I've had a couple of people tell me they couldn't get access to the DESHA, but usually when I tell them it only works in Firefox, they do find that it will be accessible. So I don't know what the issue
I
is.
tried Firefox
Yeah.
multiple times. I downloaded specifically for the ASHA track. It didn't work for me at all. And I
Okay.
tried contacting them, and it still did not work.
All right, I'm gonna have to talk to their tech department to see what the issue is, but that's fine. Just submit what you have. I'm not gonna, I probably won't necessarily know that you did it with a different program other than the combo report won't be attached. Just attach what you have and any supporting info.
Okay.
All right, let me backtrack a little because I want to make sure you know how to do this for the case study. So for the case study, you don't have to worry about rapport and communication. I have the demographics typed right into the case study, what they do for a living, what their hobbies are, their friends, their family, stuff like that. I actually have their body comp, height and weight in the case studies. So you don't have to worry about doing that. But these are the steps you're going to do if you're working with someone. Let's say one of your siblings or best friends says, well, you just took a nutrition class. Can you help me lose weight? This is the plan you need to use in order to successfully help them. So we have to know their total metabolism, right? And that's so we know if they're trying to gain weight, we go slightly above their current metabolism, right? If their current metabolism is 3,000 and they're trying to gain weight, we tell them eat about 3,500. If their current metabolism is 3,000 and they're trying to lose weight, we go slightly under. We don't cut a lot. We would tell them eat 2,750 calories a day. Okay. And they could keep track of that doing a diet analysis. You can have them use a program like MyFitnessPal app or ESHA or a different option that you find online on a daily basis. If they're really intent on losing weight and they have that motivation, they should keep track of it. Okay. Maybe not every single day, but they should definitely keep track of where they're at. What is their calorie consumption? Because if I asked you guys, were you surprised at how many calories you ate a day? Many of you would say yes. You didn't eat enough or you ate way too much. But nobody can eat exactly their metabolism without tracking it. Okay. There's no other way to really keep track in your mind. Did I eat 3,000 calories today? And we often tend to overestimate or underestimate that actual number. So using a diet analysis tool is going to be helpful. So you have them do their diet analysis and exercise analysis. You guys did that with ASHA. And then you have to review that and make recommendations on what they can change in terms of their nutrients, their cardio, and their resistance exercise. So you review the reports, and then you're going to make plans. You're going to build their plan. So what is their food plan on food and beverages? Do they need to increase or decrease any nutrients? Okay. When you looked at your combo report, did you have enough fiber? Did you have too much sodium? Did you not have enough of any particular vitamins? Did you not have enough water? So we make recommendations based off of the report. We want to look at every single nutrient, because if one small nutrient is not within the recommended ranges, that could be a problem with the person getting to normal body comp. All right. It's not necessarily only one item that we're focused on. Certainly calories is probably the most important thing. But if they don't have enough fiber, they're going to always be hungry and they're going to tend to overeat. Same thing with water. Water is very filling. If you're not drinking water, your appetite is going to be high. If you have way too much sodium, which is a common problem in our society, too much salt, you're going to have way more weight than your body should typically have, because you're going to be holding a lot of water weight. Okay, but we want to look at all the nutrients, not only in terms of weight control, but health as well. We can't be deficient in antioxidants our whole life and then assume we're going to not get a chronic illness as we get older. We can't be deficient in complex carbohydrates and whole grains and then assume we're not going to get diabetes. So, there's a lot of health implications in that report. Then you're going to look at their exercise plans. For the case study, I do have what they're currently doing. You want to look at these case studies and say, do they have 30 minutes of cardio every day, and do they have resistance training? Okay. If they don't, you want to add that to it and something that they're going to enjoy doing. We want to look if they have 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night, if they have stress management tools, if they're using unnecessary drugs. When I say the drug use, it is over-the-counter or recreational drugs. If somebody's drinking a lot of alcohol, that is a ton of calories. We have a whole module on alcohol in the future, but alcohol is 7 calories per gram. So it's just right up there in terms of quantity of calories, right up there with fat. Fat's 9 calories per gram, alcohol 7. All right. So what you can do, and I'm trying to think if I'm going to save this. I'm going to save this particular slide on its own. It'll take me a second. And I'll post that, I think, in the Collaborate room so you could look at that when you're doing your case study. Let me see here. You need to do this right now if you haven't already. I did email you guys the case studies. And you're going to need to look at that. You're going to need to look at those when you're in your groups. So hopefully you printed them out or you have it open on a different document. You see something new. I'm just going to put this up here to help guide you when you guys are doing your case studies. All right. While I have my sharing my screen with you guys, this is what I've emailed you guys earlier today. You are going to have a copy of it with you when you're in your group. So whether you print that out or you have it open on a different device, you can open it on your phone, on a laptop, an iPad, whatever it is. But you're going to need it open because you have to refer to it. What's the question?
You emailed them earlier today?
Yeah.
I didn't receive one.
Did you check your Triton email?
Yes, that's what I'm on right now.
Did anybody else get one today? Are those all people that got it? Somebody tell me verbally.
No, they're saying that they didn't get it either.
Ugh. I'm going to email it right now then. Now, I can only email you guys on triton.edu, okay? So when I'm going to email it right now. I got to do one thing. I numbered them for you guys, so let me do it. This is case study 2. This is case study 3. This is case study 4. All right. Let me ask you guys this. Have you gotten emails from me in the past? Somebody just say verbally yes or no.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know why it wouldn't have gone through today then. All right. Send email without a message. Yes. Okay, if you guys, I'm assuming most of you are on a laptop or iPad. Could you check and see if you've gotten the email, whether it's on your phone? I just got a confirmation. Did you get it?
Yeah, I got mine.
Okay. All right. So what I could recommend you do is if you are on a laptop or iPad for class, if you could open your case study on your phone, or if you want to print that out, I'm going to give you guys some time to do that, because you're not going to be able to do your project unless you have access to the case study. So why don't we take like a 3 to 5 minute break right now? Let people get to their emails, print this if they want to print it, or open up a different device to read the case study. And we'll come back it's 11:27 now. Why don't we come back at 11:30, and that will give you a little bit of time to print this out or get access to it. So go take a quick break. If you have access to it or already printed it, just take a quick break. We'll come back here at 11:30, okay?
I'm just double checking. You just want us to bring up that email with that case study, correct?
Yep. If you have access to the case study and you can still work and collaborate with your group, that's all you need. So you can open your case study on a phone and then work with your group on your laptop, or you could print out the case studies.
Okay, thank you.
If you only have one device, you could probably toggle between the case studies if you open them in the Word document and then collaborate as well, like I do. Do you all have access to it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Everybody's back? Good. All right. Thanks for letting me know that, so we don't go into this project, without that. Okay. All right, I'm just going to review case studies real quick so you know what you're working with. I'm going to separate you guys in groups. So case study 1, 25-year-old male that goes to school part-time. He currently weighs about 200 pounds, body fat 26%. Okay, so whoever gets this, you're going to read through all of this together as a group. You're coming up with plans to help them get to normal body composition. And what you're really focusing in on is what exercise recommendations you would make, what diet recommendations you would make, not just in terms of nutrients, but also making sure they eat like 3 meals a day, 2 snacks, making sure they're not eating incorrect, this person has, maybe too much of one thing, not enough of another. And then any other steps that you guys could think of to help them. So that's case study 1. Case study 2 is the 50-year-old male that's 220 pounds, is a construction worker. Case study 3, a 20-year-old female that's 120 pounds and actually doesn't want to gain weight, but her body fat's only 15%. In case study 4, we have a 300-pound, 35-year-old female. It's a stay-at-home mom, 36% fat. All right, so obviously you need to know what normal body fat is. Just a quick reminder, guys, we want them about between 10 and 19%. Anything above 20% for a guy is obesity, but we don't want them much lower than 10. For a woman, it's like 20 to, again, 29% would be normal body fat. We don't want them over 30%. 30% or more for a woman is obesity, but then again, we don't necessarily want them any much lower than 20 for her health. Okay, so I am going to get to this. I'm going to stop sharing. I really hate that screen when it all zooms out. Hopefully that you guys can have access to this file and still work in a group. So I'm sharing this file to help you guys, and I'm going to put you in groups. Let's see. All right, I am going to check in on you guys while you're in your groups. Just had somebody leave, so I'm going to see what this group number is going to be. 2 groups of 5, 2 groups of 4. All right, I'll check in with you guys. Okay, can you all hear me again? We're all back together.
Yes.
Hi.
All right. There are 18 of you still here. Good. What I'll do is I'll share the screen and put up the case study. Oop, that's not what I wanted to do. I'll put up the case study 1, 2, 3, 4, and when you see yours, then I just want one or more people from your group to discuss that. So obviously we will start with case study 1. The rest of the class should see what the demographics were on this person, a 25-year-old male, 26% body fat. He weighs 200 pounds, goes to school part-time, works in a sedentary job, which means he's sitting most of the day. For exercise, goes on walks and bike rides, doesn't exercise at all during the week, skips breakfast, eats out for lunch, eats out a lot for dinner, drinks coffee, soda, beer. Current metabolism is 2,650 calories, but he's eating up to 3,500 per day. 6 hours of sleep a night, stressed out with no stress management, and has a family history of cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and cancer. So someone from group 1, what were your recommendations?
Some of our recommendations were definitely adding in some cardio and resistance training to boost his HDLs, because he is obese and he does have a problem with like cardiovascular and diabetes and stuff. Well, like family history. And for breakfast, he skips it. He should definitely eat breakfast, because not eating will slow down his metabolism, and then your body uses like that extra fat, you know?
Yep.
And then let's see. And then he usually eats out with his coworkers. He should worry more about like cooking at home, just to avoid like more processed foods and higher amounts of oils and all that bad stuff. And for beverages, he likes to drink coffee, soda, and beer. Coffee dehydrates you, so I definitely don't really count that as a beverage. And soda is very sugary, so at the same time, he's also not getting hydrated, because he's only gonna become more thirsty. And beer, well, that's just another type of glucose, and none of these are really hydrating him. And he should eat more of like whole foods and just like lean meats, and avoid like white rice and eat like brown rice. But definitely adding breakfast to his diet.
Okay. Those were some really good points about definitely eating breakfast, cooking at home more often than eating out. Did you give him a recommendation on how many calories he should be eating per day?
Yeah, 2,000.
Okay, 2,000. The current metabolism, 2,650. I might actually go a little bit higher with his recommendation, just so set point doesn't kick in, right? If we cut too many calories off of the consumption, the metabolism might slow down. So your 2,000 calories a day, go ahead.
We calculated, so it's 2,400 to achieve a healthy weight, and then 2,800 to maintain his current weight. So that's what it
Okay,
was.
yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
2,400 would be great. That would be perfect in order to lose weight. Because you cut, we'll say you cut like 200 off of his total metabolism. That way set point doesn't kick in, and we don't change, we don't slow down that metabolism. So we're just cutting like 200, 250, maybe 300 at most, in order to lose weight. So for everyone in the class, that would be the proper way to give recommendations on caloric intake for somebody trying to lose weight. Just cutting like 250 off of their current metabolism. Now, the interesting thing with this is that if the person was eating 3,500 calories a day and we tell them to eat, 2,400, they're actually cutting a lot off of what they eat per day. But we're really only cutting 250 off of their metabolism. So they should see a dramatic weight loss just in terms of that. What were your recommendations, group 1, on their exercise?
Resistance and cardio.
Do more?
Actually start doing it.
Well, for the cardio, just the walks and bike rides. So maybe do more cardio, but they weren't doing any resistance. You're correct. So definitely add that in. All right, any other thoughts from group 1? Anybody else want to talk on this? Okay, good job. Let's move to case study 2. We have a 50-year-old construction worker, 220 pounds, 18% body fat, 6 foot tall, so he's a very, tall person. Jogs 2 to 3 times a week. A lot of people skip breakfast. This guy skips breakfast too, doesn't eat breakfast. Eats out with coworkers or brings a sandwich a couple days a week. Dinner, goes out to eat or takes dinner out. Beverages, coffee, Gatorade, beer, occasionally water. Current metabolism, 4,100 calories a day. He is only eating 2,500 calories a day. 7 hours of sleep, has stress, and a history of cardiovascular disease. Before I let case study 2 group talk, did somebody raise their hand?
Yeah, it's me, Patty. What confuses me about like that breakfast part a little bit though is, you know how they say like breakfast is technically like, I don't know, it's just like your first meal of the day.
Yep.
So like when you say you need to eat breakfast when you wake up, how is that like possible when you already are like eating such like a long time sleeping? So I'm not really sure how that makes sense, I guess.
That you should eat?
Yeah, like right away in the morning. Like, what if you like wait, like, I don't know, like 3 hours after you wake up?
Well, that wouldn't be my recommendation because you need fuel for those first 3 hours of what you're doing. I mean, unless you're just laying around for the first 3 hours. You do need some fuel to do the activities within the first 3 hours. And you need that pick up to boost your metabolism. Otherwise, your metabolism is going to be pretty slow coming off, several hours without eating. I would be fine if you don't want to eat maybe the first hour, but I would say no more than that because you want to boost your metabolism with the thermic effect of food. And also, you need fuel to do your activities. I have a little bit of experience with this, but I have seen people faint because they skip breakfast. I've had people faint in my classroom and in the fitness center. And, everybody's worried, what happened? What happened? I said, did you eat today? No. And so there are cases of people actually doing that. And it's just that the brain doesn't have enough energy to function, like enough carbs. So anyway, that's my recommendation on breakfasts, guys. Another question or comment?
No.
All right, let's let case study 2 group go. Someone from group 2, talk on this.
Okay, so yeah, he's 50 years old. And for a 50-year-old, he's in really good shape. At least like physically wise, for the most part, without his diet. Yeah, he works out 7 hours a day, which is really good. He's a construction worker, so he does a lot of lifting. So he gets most of his exercise through that. At least like lifting weights and stuff. He jogs 2 to 3 times a week, so that's good. For his diet, he shouldn't skip breakfast because he has cardio disease. I forgot what it's called. Cardiovascular
Cardiovascular.
disease.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for breakfast, he should have some carbs like whole grain bread and like a banana or something, because that kind of lowers it. That helps with it. So that helps like breathe a little bit. And for lunch, he should stop. He can go out to eat, and a sandwich is okay, but he shouldn't go out with his coworkers too much because of like cardiovascular disease. And he needs to stop getting a lot of takeout dinners and going to restaurants and stuff for dinner. He needs to like start making food himself, like, so it actually gets better. Because takeout dinners and stuff like isn't helping because he gets 7 hours of sleep, but he's still sleepy most of the day. And the restaurants and stuff like could be preventing that, like the energy he needs, because fast food actually makes you like more tired and stuff. And for the beverages, he needs to start drinking a lot more water because coffee, Gatorade, and beer is like unhealthy. It's okay to have that like sometimes. Most of the time, he should be drinking around like a gallon of water a day. So, and he gets enough sleep, but he just needs to take a break from the restaurants and stuff. So, and the stress is probably like like preventing like more sleep, I guess. Or it's like it's actually making him tired, like the stress that can
Yeah.
actually get to you.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
um, yeah, and he had something for BMR was like for I think it was like four. Hold on,
Their,
I forgot.
their total calories, he's total metabolism 4,100.
Hmm.
So what were you recommending he eat?
I forgot. But
Anyone in that group want to help him? So
I
the
got
question, go ahead.
4,727 calories.
Okay, the
I don't
question
know if
is,
that's correct.
do you think he should lose weight or gain weight based on an 18% body fat, or stay the same weight?
he's probably lose weight just a little bit because he's still like he does work out a lot. He just needs to fix his diet.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I can recommend that too. I think like a couple percentage points, not much. We don't want him to cut much. So if you calculate his total metabolism, I just made a fictitious one of 4,100 calories. But if you were working with this individual and you found his metabolism to be different, whatever that total metabolism is, let's just go with 4,100 for right now. You can have him cut a tiny bit, maybe 4,000 a day, or
Mhm.
maybe eat 3,900, not a lot. What we're finding though is he's actually only eating 2,500 calories a day. So his metabolism might be slow just because he's not eating enough. So if we tell him, well, let's try to eat closer to, 3,900 calories a day, his metabolism will speed up. He can actually start losing more weight. And I think, Philip, I think you were talking, the reason he's tired is because he's eating fast food and he's stressed out. And that is definitely the case with this person. So if
Mhm.
we eradicate those couple of things, he eats more but healthier, right? Eating more calories, healthy calories, he's probably going to get to feeling better and potentially even lose a couple percentages of body fat. Let's go to group 3. I don't want to run out of time. We do have about 6 minutes. So let's see if group 3 case study, if you can give us some ideas on this particular person. 20-year-old female, 15% body weight. So they're actually underweight. What did you guys come up with for case study 3? Somebody want to talk on this? We're all sleeping. Who's in case study 3?
Okay, I'll speak.
Okay, thank you.
Shoot. So our goal for her is for her to gain a bit of weight because her body fat is low, is 15%. It's a bit low for women. We want her to at least have 20% of body fat.
Mhm.
So for her, our goal was to increase her carbohydrates intake and her protein intake because she isn't eating no type of lunch whatsoever. So I feel like if we include a protein with a carbohydrate and some sort of fiber in her diet, her calorie intake would also increase because she's only consuming 1,100 calories a day, and we need her to consume at least 1,900 calories or 2,000 calories on average.
Yep. And you can
And
even
then
you could kick that up a little bit even. You could do like 2,200 even. Go ahead.
we were thinking about doing that because she also does exercise a lot. She does a lot of exercise, cardio exercise,
Mhm.
an hour every day. So we were thinking about maybe throwing a little bit of resistance training,
Mhm.
at least for half an hour to work out with her own body weight or some weights. So if she does resistance training, we could increase her intake of protein because she's gonna be working out more. And also her dinner is kind of like it needs more carbs. It has a protein and a salad, but we decided to increase like at least a cup of brown rice or white rice in her diet to increase her carbohydrates intake. By increasing her carbohydrate intake will help her use it as energy, and if she doesn't use the carbs as energy, she could store that as fat, and that's another good way to increase her total body fat by a lot.
Great work. I like that you increased her calories, and she's going to need that increase in calories when she starts doing resistance training. Otherwise, she's not going to be successful. And I like that you did increase both in carbs and in protein. And don't be afraid of having her eat a little bit more fat too. But that would come with just increasing her meals. We're going to get a little bit more healthy fat. Great job. Let's do case study 4. We have a 35-year-old female, 36% body weight, 36% body fat, 300 pounds, and it is a stay-at-home mom. What do you guys got for her?
As far as her exercising and like health wise, she need more self-care. She needs to do more with herself and more exercise because I feel like I don't know how fresh the kids are, but I feel like she really gave up her life, her well-being to take care of hers, and it's really taking toll on her health. So she's consuming about an extra, what is this, 1,000? I can't really see. Hold on.
Yeah, you know what? Her total metabolism is 2,800, and she's eating 3,850.
Yeah, so she's consuming extra, and that's because like going through the case study, we seen how like she would pertain to her kids, so she would cook for them breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but they will only eat so much or whatever they want. So I guess she felt the need to not waste it and eat it. And I guess in her like history as far as family wise, obesity, depression, and sleep apnea and arthritis definitely has taken a toll on her well-being. So we feel like she should exercise more, eat fiber, try to cut back from the diet soda, coffee, and ice cream at night.
Good job. So how many calories do you think she should be eating in a day?
Um,
Her
okay,
total metabolism 2,850. So why don't we cut about 250 and we'll have her eat like 2,600 per day as a goal.
yeah, we can, but it's just her lifestyle that's really taking the toll on me.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. It's her lifestyle. She doesn't take care of herself. It sounds like she's just taking care of the kids, and they're not. And I think I eavesdropped on your group and you were talking about just actually kind of like being a role model for them too. Like they see her, and that's how they're going to grow up, to do those behaviors. And I like your recommendation of exercising more. Obviously, she'll need some resistance training and a little bit of cardio.
Yeah, I mean, it mentions like as far as her exercise, she goes on walks and takes the kids to the playground. So, like, I insisted on like sometimes instead of walk, she could run or jog. And then as far as she take her kids to the playground, she can play with them and do a little more, and that'll be good for both the kids and her because she can work on her cardio, drop a little weight, and keep her kids, I want to say, entertained and all that. And hopefully, with her playing with them more, it'll tire them out and she can get more sleep at night, and that'll be more helpful to her body.
Okay. Good ideas, Jalen. Thank you. And your group did a great job. I appreciate it. I thought all you guys did well in your group assignments. I hope that this exercise helped you use your knowledge now to help other people. Anytime you guys got questions on this type of topic of weight control, you can email me, or we could talk during class if need be as well. But we're running out of time today. So make sure that if you have not submitted your combo report or your diet analysis, make sure you do that. Try to get it in by 1 o'clock today. I do want you to remember you have a learning module due tomorrow night. So learning module 8, quiz and discussion. And otherwise than that, if you were in class when I took attendance, you are free to go. The rest of you raise your hand if you don't think I've got your attendance, and I will see you guys on Tuesday.
Thanks.
Jalen,
Have a good weekend.
let me see. Jalen, I got you. Philip, I've got you. And Daniela, I did get you. Sean, let me look. Got you.
Have a good weekend, Dr. Murphy.
Thank you. You too. I appreciate that. Everybody have a good weekend.
Hello.
Yep. Who's talking? Joe Sean?
Mm-hmm. So, I would that's what I was confused about last night. I didn't know if you had wanted like, cause I'm looking right here. I got the spreadsheet, the single nutrient report, and the recommendations.
Okay.
And I didn't. Do you want all 3 of those, or do you just want the spreadsheet in the single nutrient report?
Do you have them saved to your computer?
I saved one to my computer right now. I'm trying to save the other 2 right now.
Yeah, I mean, if you save them to your computer, you could just email them to me.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, cause that's what I've been trying to do. So I saved which one did I save already?
You
The
said recommendation. Just so you know, if you open that combo report, you get all the other reports in it, but it does take a long time to download.
Yeah, I know. And
So whichever one you use, you could just email that to me.
so you say if I go to the let me go back to wait, how do I get to the combo report?
I'm gonna have to open Usher.
Combination report. Okay.
Yeah. If you open the report button, the report tab. Oh, see, I'm not in Firefox. I gotta open Firefox first.
Okay, yeah. Okay, it's up.
Okay.
21 pages.
What is it? 21 pages?
Yeah.
That's why it takes so long to download. It's up to you. If you have your summary already written, just email me what you have on your computer, and that'll be fine.
Okay. Okay. So yeah. So I downloaded it. So whenever it's up there. So whenever it gets, it says done already. Oh, okay. I got it down already.
All right. Yeah, you can email it to me and you'll be fine.
All right, I got you.
Thank you.
All right, no problem.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye bye.